What up, guys? Today's video is about the Jeep Wrangler. As you can see in the background, we have a Tuscadero pink Jeep Wrangler. This is a 2022. To get this limited edition pink color, you had to order it at the end of 2021. So it's kind of unique, and a lot of people, if you didn't know, the people who own Jeeps, not only do they wave at everybody, but they play this game called Duck Duck Jeep. And if they like your Jeep, they give you like little ducks to say, you know, it's cool and things like that. We've gotten a ton of ducks on this thing, so that is that. Today's video is about the things that I hate about this Jeep. The things that I can't stand about this Jeep, and ultimately the reason why we are getting rid of it. What we got rid of it for will be in a future video because we pick it up tomorrow. But first thing I want to go over about what I hate about this Jeep is the power. So it boasts 300 horsepower. Now, typically that's good, and it really isn't bad compared to vehicles of the past. 300 horsepower seems like plenty, but when you're talking about this Jeep, as you could tell, I switched over back to the stock wheels here, and I'll show you. Because the stock wheels and tires, they're just kind of blah, you know. So every Jeep owner, they want to upgrade. So we went with a all-terrain Nitto Ridge Grappler, giving it a bigger stance, a bigger profile, and these tires are a little bit bigger than the stock tires. Now, that being said, when you put bigger tires on this Jeep, it really bogs it down. The Rubicons, they have 410 gears, which gives you a little bit better acceleration and torque, but it lowers your gas mileage because then your RPMs are higher, things like that. But so with the Rubicon, it's not as bad, but it's still terrible. It really bogs this thing down. Immediately, you notice a hit on your gas mileage. You will lose 5 to 7 miles per gallon on average than what you were getting before. We used to get 25 miles a gallon on this thing, on this stock setup. But as soon as we put those bigger tires on, we were struggling to get 18. Struggling. You know, I'd have to baby it and be very nice to it just to get 18. It's terrible. So that's something I hate about this Jeep. The next thing I'm going to talk about I hate about this Jeep is the hardtop. The front two panels do come off, and we've done that a few times, but it's not practical for me to do the hardtop at all. You know, our schedule's 4 and 2, so there's days or weeks or months where our days off don't line up with very nice days. So taking the top off is not practical. Also, it's big and cumbersome, and you got to put it somewhere. It's not something you can do yourself very easily unless you have some sort of strap or a rigging system above. They do make these like aluminum lifts that you could like put in your garage and things like that, but they're $1,000. So again, it's just not practical. The pros to this is it's quieter and it holds in heat better. So if you have a family and things like that, the hardtop is the way to go. But it's not convenient to take off. It's not hard, it's just not easy, if you know what I mean. It's only 4 bolts, but getting it off is a pain. Then you got to put it somewhere, that's a pain. Then you got to get it back on, that's a pain. And there's days where it's just not practical lining up with good weather on your days off. Alright, the next thing I'm going to tell you that I hate about this Jeep is the doors, the removable doors. Here in Pennsylvania, it's illegal to remove your doors. There's a lot of people that do it until they get a ticket. So in Pennsylvania, they have a law for vehicle code about original equipment. It has nothing to do with the rearview mirror. A lot of people think that if they take this door off, it's illegal because now it doesn't have a side mirror. That's not true. So they'll buy like a side mirror that goes on the A-pillar there, the post. That's not true at all. If this vehicle was bought with doors, you have to keep the doors on. That's where that vehicle code comes in. The only Jeeps that can get away with that are old CJs. I want to say it was like from the 70s, 60s or 70s. That was the last time you could get away with that, because you could actually order this Jeep, or a Jeep, you could order a Jeep without doors. Those are the only ones that get away with it. So, not everybody cares as far as police. Some people will drive around all the time and not get a ticket. But it just takes one cop on a bad day to issue a whole bunch of tickets just because you want to have your doors off, and it's not worth it. Plus, then your vehicle's unsecured. So wherever you go, you got to kind of worry about that. So for that reason, I hate the fact that these doors come off, because it leads you to believe that it's such a nice thing and such an easy thing to do when it really isn't practical. All right, the next thing I want to talk about, the thing that I hate about this Jeep, is actually space. All the space that Jeeps brag about as far as having these 4 doors requires you to put the seats down. I have a kid. There's a car seat up there. I can't put the seats down. As you can see, all we have is a stroller back there. With the stroller back there, you could barely fit groceries in there. There's, you know, if you bought $50 worth of groceries, you couldn't store them in there. There's no room at all. This whole entire space is taken up. Now, without that, there's really not that much space as it is. And I can't put the seats down. So all that space that Jeep brags about is just not there. That's the reason I hate that. Another thing I hate about this Jeep is the space inside, the interior room. There is almost no room at all. There's a few times I can actually reach over and touch this door. With most vehicles I can't. There's times where Steph and I are like fighting for elbow room on this center console just because there is no room. Not that I'm a huge guy, but bigger people would not like this vehicle for that reason. If you're a 12-year-old girl, or if you're a tiny female, certainly you're gonna like this and not think that the room is that big of a deal. But let me turn the camera on here. This is just me sitting normally. My foot and knee is up there. Like, this is my normal driving position. And my knee has to hit the door just for space. Another thing on top of that, if you look down by my foot, you see this? I'll open the door so you can see it. This is the cable for the door. When it's closed, you see how it goes in? It's on the inside. And your foot hits it. It's always touching your foot. It's really annoying. So interior space, you know, interior space, the fact that there is no room inside this thing, that's what I hate about this Jeep. All right, another thing about this Jeep that I cannot stand is the ride quality. Anybody that's ever owned a Jeep, anybody that currently drives a Jeep, and they tell you that the ride quality is good, I don't care whether you're driving a Gladiator, a Rubicon, a regular Jeep Wrangler, doesn't matter. Jeep's ride quality is garbage. It sucks. You feel everything. You hit a bump while you're going at highway speeds and in a turn or things like that, you almost get thrown all over the lane. Wind affects this thing like crazy, whether you're going past a tractor trailer or you're driving through a windy area. It gets blown all over the lane. It sucks. Its aerodynamic is like a brick. The suspension is more stiffer for off-roading and things like that, because it does have a steering stabilizer thing, but the suspension itself is garbage. The ride quality sucks, and that is one thing I hate about this Jeep Wrangler. All right, this last one is going to seem petty, but something I hate about this Jeep, it might not bug a lot of people, but it bugs me: the gas cap. When this gas cap is off, it just hangs there. There's nowhere to secure this gas cap. 90% of vehicles out there today have a spot for you to like clip the gas cap in, kind of attach the gas cap to, or they're just capless, period. That way you don't have to deal with this. But the fact that this is just hanging and it's right below the gas cap, this constantly, every time you're fueling up, because sure, if you pay attention and, you know, from time to time if you be real careful. But odds are you're not doing that every time. A lot of times you're just kind of pumping in and you forget it and you just go to take it out. You're going to get gas all over this cap. It drips all over this cap. And then you have to use your hands to secure it. So then your hands smell like fuel for the rest of the day. It sucks. It's something I hate about the vehicle. Jeep needs to fix that. Go with a, go back to a door. Go with something different, and then just have something capless. All right, there you have it, guys. I might have forgot a few things. I'm not the type of YouTuber that works on a script, but those are just some of the reasons that I hate this Jeep. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Those reasons are ultimately why we ended up getting rid of this thing. As I stated before, what we got in replacement of this, you guys will see here soon on the channel. But in the meantime, this is Josh from the 570. Stay tuned for an upcoming video. I told you I started a new YouTube channel, so stay tuned for the revealing of that and my small business. But we'll see you next time.